Hi everyone, your love story here. This is an unusual video I'm making today. And here's why, because I just had somebody wrote me a letter and they saying that it's impossible, it's very hard to raise kids on this generation. So I had to make this video because right now at this moment, unfortunately, I have 3 clients that have kids under 20 who has tried to commit suicide. So I don't think that has absolutely nothing to do with this generation and people want to blame technology into it. Let me ask you a question. Who's raising your kids? Who's the person in charge in your house to make the decisions? So why are we blaming? I understand that when we grew up, life was a little difficult, was a little different. I wouldn't say difficult. Why? Because our parents used to have so much control of our lives, and we don't want to accept that that is the right way to raise our kids. It doesn't matter if we didn't have the technology and everything that these kids have. To have an old-fashioned household, to be able to raise your kids the old-fashioned way is your decision. An iPhone doesn't walk into your house. Technology does not walk into your house unless you allow it. Do you remember when we used to be not afraid because we knew our parents were not going to kill you? But we have more control. We have respect. What does respect has to do with anything? It has everything to do. Why? Because if we analyze the way our kids are talking to us right nowadays, I'm 37 years old. And if my mom walks in right now and says something to me, I won't dare to answer back. But you got 5, 6, 7-year-olds answering you back, making decisions in their lives. I understand that we want to make our kids feel more comfortable, not like what we did. We want to have more freedom for our kids. But how much freedom is too much freedom? Why can't we raise our kids by teaching them the value of things? You buy yourself your son an iPhone. Let him know what the rules of those iPhones are. Let them know the rules of the computer. Let them know the rules like we had. Do you remember when you had a little party in your house and your mother would set up the rules before the party started? Or your mother would take you somewhere and your mother would tell you before you walk in there and said, one of your friends better not ask me for you to stay over. And that's the first thing you would tell your friend because you have respect towards your parents, because you knew what the rules was. We all got whipped. We always taught everything to be respectful and nothing happened to us. Why do we need to be afraid of telling our kids what the rules are? Why can't we? It's very beautiful to take your daughter to do her nails when she's 5 years old, but laid out the rules. Okay, baby, mommy and you are going to have a mommy and daughter day, and you're going to do your nails. But it's not all the time, okay? Why? That child will understand. Why am I saying this? Because that way, when that child is 10 years old, she's not going to say, well, she let me paint my nails and do whatever I want when I was 5. So why can't I have a boyfriend? Why can't I have an iPhone? Why can't I go out with my friends? Why do I need to have a curfew? All these rules that we are not letting our kids to have, that we had, and we turned out to be okay. And our parents didn't have the excuse to say, well, you know that the new generation, there was no such thing. There was no such talk when we were little. Do we remember when we used to say, I like this boy, and your mother used to shut you down and say, you don't have a boyfriend, you don't talk about boys here, you don't talk. And now, we want to say now, well, that was very rough. Well, it was rough, but it was right. But we were doing something right. But our kids were safe. Our kids were safe to play with the neighbors, and we're not going to blame everything on this new generation, because yeah, there are bad things that you don't want it to happen to your kids, and maybe that's why you're being more withholding with them, with going outside, and you don't want to lay so many rules because you don't want. But a lot of people tell me, well, I don't want to tell my daughter that because I don't want my daughter to run away from my house. Did you run away? And we used to get hit. We used to get spanked. We used to get, we used to be dressed for a party, and our parents used to make us take our clothes off because we didn't ask for permission. Excuse me, where are you going? Oh, but I told you, you didn't do anything this week. You told me about the party, and your mother used to just cancel. Like, yeah, I used to crush your feelings, but at the same time, you knew who the boss was. You knew what the rules in your house was. You knew what mommy was going to say before you even did it. So our kids don't have no shame. They're not afraid of anything. The worst thing that our mother used to say to us was, I'm going to call your father. Now say to a child, you're going to call his father. Do we remember when we didn't have to be reprimanded by our own family members? Because if the neighbor used to see you in the street, you were afraid she may tell your mother, and your mother was going to whip you behind. So it's BS that we want to have all of this. And I know I'm going to have so many people on my back because of this. And I don't do it with any type of disrespect. I'm actually doing it because it hurts me to see a mother crying. It hurts me to see a mother crying because they kill her 12-year-old. Because a 15-year-old just tried to commit suicide because they have everything we didn't have. They have computers. They have iPhones. They have their own bedroom. We decorate our kids' bedroom. We were lucky if our parents even had time to paint our room. As a matter of fact, we didn't ever have our own room. I did, thank God. But, not a lot of people did. And it was okay. And we lived okay. And we would respect one another. We all did things that our parents didn't know about. Does anybody remember when they used to say, well, we fighting after school? And the whole school used to move and see. What I'm trying to say with this is let's have more conscience in what we do. Let's have a little bit of more love towards our kids. And I'm not saying that you don't love your kids. We do all of this because we love our kids. But because we love our kids so much, sometimes we do and give our kids so much without teaching them to appreciate what we do for them. Without teaching them that it's with respect. Without teaching them that it's not that you want it, it's that you earned it. It's that you respect it. It's a value of things that you don't have to. The same way you respect this house, I want you to respect everyone else out there. That way, when somebody comes and tell you that your kid did something, your kid well enough that you know what he did. Our parents didn't give us that, okay? Because we didn't have that. Any adult which used to knock on your door and say something, as soon as they say, you know what your child did, your mother will look at you and be like, go to your room and we'll talk later. Now we get into this argument with all the people without even finding out if our kids was the one who did something. What are we doing? We are the one raising this generation. We are the one doing everything we're doing. And yes, we blaming everything on everything else because we don't want to assume responsibilities for ourselves. We don't want to admit that we are the one. We blaming society, this technology, all of these things. When are we, as adults, as a new generation, raising the next generation that's going to stay here on this planet for us? When are we going to understand? When are we going to do the right things? When are we going to stop crying for our kids that we love so much? Or yes, we give them so much, without giving them the right values and the right mind. And everything that our parents wanted to do for us was up here. More than material stuff. More than anything else. It was value, respect, and have the mentality of the future. That's all you got to do for your kids. And everything else that you do gives in love and everything that every parent would love to do for their kids. But do it in the smart way. Teach your kids to be a better human. Teach your kids to be respectful, not to only towards you, but towards everyone else, so they can have the conscience of understanding that this planet doesn't belong to me or to you, belong to all of us. And if we all work together, we will have a better neighborhood. We will have a better life. We will have better young kids growing up. We will have real women and men growing in this planet that we know, even though there are amazing kids doing amazing things out there. But we are forgetting a little touch of old-fashionedness that we need to put out there so our family can finally be happy and we don't have to cry so much for our kids. Let's put more curfews on our kids. Let's watch more closely what our kids are doing. Who are they talking to? Why do we feel like we're violating any privacy? Our parents didn't give us no privacy and we were fine with it. And I'm not saying for you to raise your kids the way you would raise maybe because you didn't like the things that they used to do to you. But let's have more conscience so we could be more happy. That's what it's all about. Understanding that what we're raising is going to go out there and it's going to grow up and become adults in society. The planet that we so much complain about the surroundings that bother us so much, well, those kids, our kids, are going to be part of that society. Our kids are going to be part of that. Love your kids the right way. Teach them. Get in their business. That's what we do as parents. We need to know at all times. I don't care if they build a magnetic field around my house and it's all full of technology. That's not going to change my mentality, the way my parents, the way my grandparents raised me. That's not going to change that. And everywhere I go, I will take that with me. Whether I went to college or didn't go to college, whether I'm a professional or not, whether I'm just worried about being a perfect or a good human being, not to someone else, but even to myself. Because how good it feels when somebody compliments you and say, wow, you're raising an amazing young man. You're raising an amazing young lady. And I'm one who, as soon as I see a young man or a young lady acting the right way, I compliment them. And I say, keep it up. Your parents are doing an excellent job. I make sure I tell them it's the parents who are doing the great job. I bumped into a young man in the supermarket, and the way he spoke to me, and he bagged my bag, and I said to him, I need you to do me a favor. I need you, when you get home, to tell your mother that some lady said to you that she did a great job. And that's what it's all about. Raising kids, one day we would not be on this planet. And what we need to understand is one thing. Our kids are going to stay behind. And we're not going to be able to see what anybody's going to say or do to our kids. So let's raise humans that when we close our eyes and when we're no longer on this planet, we will be proud of those humans. We will be saying, I know what I raised. I know my daughter's a great woman. And I know my grandkids will be too. Because this is a generation thing. So hopefully this was helpful to you guys. Let's hold on to our young kids. They are the future. Stay blessed, and I just want to say, please leave comments on my videos, and if you're new, please subscribe so we can make this family a lot bigger. I am so grateful for you guys subscribing, and I'm so grateful for all your comments. Keep it coming, and I'm also on Instagram, Facebook, and on Twitter with your love story. I'll see you guys next time. Have a blessed day and embrace your family. Thank you.